Howdy, and today we're going to talk about some obelisks. We're going to do floor 6. We're going to do it on the Lucy account, one of my F2P accounts. It's a Korean account, keep it in mind, so I do have heroes that some of you might not have access to right away. But the principles and everything that I'm going to talk about in this video still applies the same. So the first thing first, and this you definitely gotta look at the skills because the passes for each boss floor is going to be critically important to understand. Because some bosses are going to be immune to certain things, some bosses going to have extra abilities and skills that might determine what you should be bringing into this fight. Once again, these battles are typically hard. I mean, it is the latest content, so it's more so geared for the players that have been playing for the longest, the Korean side of everything. So as you persist on, the floors are going to get progressively harder and harder to where you really need to have max build heroes and a lot of heroes built at that because certain floors have certain conditions require you to have specific heroes. For this one, the only hero that you actually need is the Green Charlotte. So bringing her in, I know most, if not all of us, have built her, as well as we just need to make sure that we win and keep all our heroes alive to get the 3-star for this. This is pretty simple. I believe most of us, if we are into the late game phase, extreme should be able to get this floor done. So the main way I approach these fights are to have your one main damage dealer, preferably if you have the green Basilica. Hopefully you did choose her. You should have her now if you've been playing since at least the first month of the game's release. You should have her, and she's going to carry most of your damage early on. She should be able to burst down bosses relatively quick if you have her at least for first ascension and put a lot of investment into her gear on a crit rate, crit damage build, quad attack. Preferably if you don't have quad attack, just as much attack as you can get on her as possible. You definitely want to have at least one other damage dealer, preferably someone AoE like your blue Helga. I believe here I use the red Aleph. Really doesn't matter who you have, as long as they also dish out damage and they do AoE so they can burst down the waves. If they can't kill the waves in one go, doesn't matter. The rest of your team is going to help support in between there. I do make sure I keep my fail safe, which is the blue Vanessa, just in case if someone does die, she can revive her, revive our team. She is our main source of healing outside of our self-sufficiency within the green Basilica and the red Aleph. Then I also bring my blue Lumi into this fight because she has the turn bar reduction, AoE, and both skill 2 and her burst, which is pretty useful. The blue pup is good for that. If you have the red Lyra and she was one that you chose, she's good for this position. Other than that, having another support that can debuff the enemy, buff your team or something, or just extra damage dealer will be fine for this position and this fight in particular. So it's nothing much else that I can say that you would need for this floor. I just wanted to say that once this is over with, because I believe we're in our last day or so for clearing all 30 floors, I'm going to start pumping out content for all the floors, probably starting around floor 6 again, and so forth and so on, because I think we all should be decent. And if you think there's any floors that I should cover before floor 6, then I'll cover those as well. But I'm going to try to cover every floor that I'm possibly able to do with this account. And maybe we showcase some of my more OP accounts and how I'm clearing them with those too. Leave that stuff in the comment section below. I do hope you guys enjoy, and you can watch and see what happens for the rest of the video.